Dan Campbell talked a little bit about the defense this morning. We'll play you that audio clip, and our listeners are something else. Look behind me.
You are Locked On Lions, your daily Detroit Lions podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
It's a Locked On Lions Tuesday edition, October the 4th and a Wednesday, October 5th. Matt Dery with you. Thank you for listening and welcome in to the Locked On Podcast Network, your team indeed every day, where we talk Detroit Lions football. Lions at 1-3, getting ready to go to New England and Foxborough to face the Patriots coming up this weekend. On the show today, an update on the kicking situation. Dan Campbell on the ticket this morning talked about the defense. Very interesting comments about what he's going to do. Also, some numbers on Jared Goff, which are a positive. We can't just sit here and slam the organization the entire podcast. And one of our listeners went above and beyond the call of duty, as you can see over my left shoulder here if you're watching on YouTube. Incredible. I'm going to explain all of that coming up on the program today. Thank you for listening and making us your first listen each and every day. Follow us on Twitter at Dery Speaks. That's Dery Speaks at Locked On Lions on Twitter, the Matt Dery Facebook fan page where we post the podcast daily, and also again on YouTube for those watching on the Locked On Lions YouTube channel where we are over 2,000 subscribers now. So very excited about that. Thank you for tuning in and joining us. Should be an interesting week with the Patriots coming up. We'll do the crossover on Thursday. David Burkett, the longtime Lions beat writer for the Free Press, is going to join us tomorrow. All right, quickly, let's get this out of the way. For those of you watching on YouTube, today I was at my office at Financial Architects in beautiful Farmington Hills, Michigan, and I got a package in the mail at work from none other than one of our listeners. His name is Turner Batdorf. And Turner's a good guy. He's always on Twitter, and he's always shouting us out. And Turner sent me a card. It says, Dery, whether the Lions win or lose, we appreciate all the hard work you do to provide us with such great content. Now that you're on video, I thought you could use something for your background or at least for your studio. Keep up the great work. Go Lions, Turner Batdorf. Thank you, Turner. Appreciate that. So yes, somehow Turner made a sign, 222 Rodwood Drive street sign. I love it. I can't even, Turner, thank you so much. I can't even tell you how great this is. Is this sign not beautiful or what? 222 Rodwood Drive. Now, I'm going to there's some things that are going to be going on soon with my basement and my studio. It's makeshift. I don't do a great job of decorating. Many of you have called me out for it. But 222 Rodwood Drive is just the best. It's so good. So thank you, Turner. And for those watching on YouTube, there you go. A street sign, 222 Rodwood Drive, something we coined here on Locked On Lions. It used to be 222 Keenest Drive in honor of the legendary former Lions media relations man for many years, and then historian Bill Keenest, who's no longer with the organization. Hit up Bill once in a while. And now we call it 222 Rodwood Drive. So thank you. This is great. I absolutely love it. And it will be part of the studio each and every day. All right. So the Lions are sitting at 1-3. What are they going to do? What's going to happen with this defense? Because that's the biggest story. The Lions have the number one scoring offense in the NFL. They have the dead last 32nd rated defense, scoring defense in the league. You've heard all the numbers. We've been through all of this. Today, Dan Campbell made his usual appearance on the Tuesday morning edition of the Stoney and Jansen show on a 97.1 The Ticket. And I want you to take a listen to when he was asked by John about the defense and what this organization is going to do. Take a listen to Dan Campbell from earlier today discussing the defense and what the next steps are. Take a listen.
Yeah, look, I think we've got to calm some things down. I think we got to go back to the basics. I think we've got to simplify, and then I think we got to shake our roster up a little bit. And I'm not going to tell you who that's going to be, but I mean, we're talking about right now some trust issues. Just, man, are you going to be where you're supposed to be? Can I trust that you're going to be there and make this call? So a little trust, a little FBI, and a little bit of dog. And so I think we're going to inject some of that into our defense, and I think that can go a long way for us.
All right, so there's Dan Campbell discussing his defense on the morning show today. Couple of things that he said that I want to react to. Number one, shake things up with personnel. What are you going to do? Seriously. Unless Josh Paschal comes back and is like this world beater and they immediately get him on the field quickly, and it sounds like a couple of weeks they're going to get him back. Unless he's some sort of giant difference maker. Demetrius Taylor, defensive lineman, D tackle, undrafted, had a really good preseason, has never played in the NFL in a regular season game. Big Meech, they call him. He's apparently going to be added to the team this week and won't be a healthy scratch. He's actually going to play. But other than that, what other personnel issues and shakeups can be made with this team? I guess you could move Will Harrison as a starting cornerback and bench Amani Oruwariye. Would that do much good? I don't think so. I don't think Will Harris is anything special. Do you put Ifeatu Melifonwu in at safety and have Kirby Joseph sit out? Are you going to bench Deshaun Elliott and play two young safeties in Melifonwu and Joseph? Melifonwu's never played safety in the NFL before. He's a second-year player. And Joseph played in his first NFL game this past week, at least starting. I mentioned yesterday Austin Bryant getting some more run. Are the Lions going to go out and sign some free agent players that are sitting on the street? Are they going to go break the bank and bring in Ndamukong Suh back? That's not what this organization does. I'd love for them to sign Suh right now. But they don't have the cap space. And Suh's going to probably want a ton of money. It's not what to sit here and say we're going to make some personnel shakeups. I don't see what those are. There's not enough depth on this defense. Who on the bench are you sitting here going, oh, he's got to play more? Derek Barnes instead of Anzalone? They love Anzalone. Derek Barnes every week grades out very poorly from Pro Football Focus. Malcolm Rodriguez is already playing, and he was a 6th-round pick, undersized, that beat out all of these other guys. Now you're going to tell these other guys after 4 weeks, oh, we're ready to put you in? What he didn't say is that the scheme has to improve. Shake things up personnel-wise. I don't know what to do with this defense because it's not that good, but I'll tell you this. One thing that they have to do is, for sure, make some changes with the scheme. He's not firing Aaron Glenn. All of you loved Aaron Glenn a month ago. Aaron Glenn did, future head coach Aaron Glenn did interview for the Saints head coaching job this offseason. Now, was he a former Saints assistant? Yes. Could that have been a Rooney Rule move? Possibly. Okay? I hate that, and I hate even bringing that up, but it's facts. It's possible. Not facts, but you know what I mean. People were in love with him a month ago. Now all of a sudden, everybody wants to run him out of town. But trust issues that Dan Campbell said there is what really bothered me. And here's why. This organization has been touting and telling us for weeks. Don't want to block my sign here. They've been telling us for weeks how trusting everybody is and how this team trusts each other. They play together. They're all part of the family. We're ingrained. We finish each other's sentences. We're ingrained with one another. The culture is so good. We are four games into the season. All right? And this team has played, outside of Philadelphia, some pretty mediocre offenses. All right, the Vikings offense is not scary good. The Commanders' offense stinks, and the Seahawks' offense coming into this game wasn't very good. Philly, all right, that's a really dynamic offense. A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, the backs, Sanders, and others. It's pretty good offense. But other than that, like, we're sitting here talking about the defense having trust issues 4 games in, and they haven't even faced the Packers yet. They haven't even gone to Dallas yet. That's a problem. Trust issues, again, comes back to coaching. They are not going to make a change with Aaron Glenn. I just don't know what they're going to do. But they've got to fix this scheme. They've got to scheme it up. They've got to coach it up. They've got to stop blitzing too much. They've got to stay in their lanes. They've got to have gap control. All these things. That is up to the coaches. All of them. Todd Wash, Kelvin Shepard, Aubrey Pleasant, all of them have got to coach these guys up. Guys have got to improve. Aiden Hutchinson has to get better. All right. This coaching staff got Charles Harris better last year. Now he needs to improve even more. Malcolm Rodriguez, it's hard to argue how good he's been. He's been really good. Trust issues 4 games in, I don't like hearing that at all. Not a good sign. Hey. All right. Locked On Lions today brought to you by our friends at AG1. Hey, this AG1, it's a product that literally my wife literally uses every day. She started taking AG1 because she didn't have time to do anything else. Wanted better gut health, more energy, optimized immune system, doesn't like taking pills and vitamins, wanted a supplement that actually tastes great, wanted to see what the hype was about when they sent it to us, and she loves it. What is it? With one delicious scoop of AG1, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to help you start your day right. This special blend of ingredients supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovery, focus, and aging, all of those things, all right? Already telling some of my family and friends about AG1, and they love it. It's easy to take with some water each and every day. Importance of multivitamins. Tons of people take some kind of multivitamins in every single day. It's important to choose one with high quality ingredients that your body will actually absorb. And that's what AG1 is. It's a small micro habit with big benefits. All right. And it's lifestyle friendly, whether you eat keto, paleo, vegan, dairy free, or whatever. And the price is great. It costs you less than $3 a day. You're investing in your health. All right. It's awesome. Seriously, to make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you got to do is visit athleticgreens.com/NFL Network. Again, that is athleticgreens.com/NFL Network to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. All right, Dave Burkett from the Free Press is going to join us tomorrow right here on Locked On Lions. The news of the day today, no surprise, after one game, the Lions have waived kicker Dominic Eberle. We spoke yesterday about how his days were numbered. Austin Seibert is apparently going to attempt to kick and participate in practice on Wednesday with that groin injury. But Eberle, who missed 2 extra points this past Sunday and kicked a kickoff out of bounds, is now gone. Another kicker bites the dust with Detroit. I'm not going to sit here and bag on Brad Holmes again, but Bradley's choices of kickers over 2 years has been brutal. The team did work out 2 more kickers we mentioned yesterday. Liram Hiralo, the former Dallas Cowboy and CFL legend, and also Sam Ficken worked out, the former Penn State kicker with the Lions, reportedly today. Sam Ficken has been in the NFL with the Jaguars, the Chiefs, the Rams, so there's your Brad Holmes connection, 17 and 18, the Seahawks in 19, the Packers in 2019, the Jets for 2 years in 2019 and 2020. He was brutal in New York and got booed there. And last year, he spent a little bit of time with the Tennessee Titans. Ironically enough, Sam Ficken was likely going to be the Titans kicker last season. Then he got injured, and actually, here's your Kevin Bacon game. Sam Ficken was replaced, because he got hurt last year in Tennessee, by Randy Bullock, whom the Lions had let go. And Randy Bullock has been kicking for the Titans for the last 2 years. Randy Bullock, Matthew Wright, Ryan Santoso, Aldrick Rosas, Riley Patterson, Austin Seibert, Dominic Eberle, and maybe this week either Sam Ficken or Liram Hyrolo if Seibert doesn't return from the groin injury yet when the team goes to New England. Foxborough with the wind and everything else is always a tricky place to kick. So we'll see if Seibert is healthy enough. But again, Austin Seibert already cost you a game in Minnesota, injured or not, with his misses. So this organization has got to find a consistent kicker and go with it. The problem is Riley Patterson was probably the best of the lot, and he got beaten out in training camp in the competition by Seibert. Now Patterson's in Jacksonville, and the Lions are still searching for a kicker. I still don't understand why this organization didn't offer Matt Prater a 2-year contract like the Cardinals did before last season and kept Prater around. He was always good. He was money from 50 plus. Big mistake by this organization not to give Prater a second year. They offered the same money from what I was told last year, but the Cardinals offered that second year, and so that is where that is at. All right, coming up next, the Lions. We talked about the defense ad nauseum, but somebody that took some heat last year, and even in the offseason, there was talk about replacing him. This player is stepping up. I'm going to tell you who that is and give you some stats. Coming up next, first, betonline.net, your number one source for football betting info this season. Find all the latest player developments, team matchups, news, podcasts, and in-depth articles and analysis on every game you can find. Folks, we got MLB playoffs, the wild card, coming up on Friday. You want all the information you need about the MLB wild card and, of course, the AL Central Division champion Cleveland Guardians, you can do it at BetOnline. Fastest and easiest way to check in on all your favorite games and events. That includes MLB, MMA, boxing, and golf, and right around the corner, NBA and NHL. Head to betonline.net or use your mobile device to learn more. BetOnline, where the game starts. All right, so this offseason, there was a lot of talk about, will the Lions draft a quarterback, and is it time to go out and get a Malik Willis or a Kenny Pickett or any of these guys to push Jared Goff? Jared Goff's contract after this year, it's pretty cap friendly to rid themselves of. This year's cap hit is around $30 million, but then that comes down next year, and it would be easier to get rid of him. Now remember, he's got a couple more years left on his deal, and he played very well at the end of last season. Jared Goff is not a problem, and I don't think is going anywhere. And I was kind of tooling around the internet today thinking about it. And you're talking about some of the best quarterbacks in the game, right? Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert, Josh Allen, even Trevor Lawrence to an extent, Jalen Hurts, who's had a really good year, the great Tom Brady. Do you realize that Jared Goff can be mentioned in the same sentence and the same breath this season through 4 games as those players? There are 6 quarterbacks in the NFL with a passer rating, because I'm a big passer rating guy, passer rating in the triple digits, over 100. All right? Tua is first at 109.9, Mahomes 108, Geno Smith 108, Lamar 105, Justin Herbert 102, and Josh Allen 101. Percentage points behind them, 1/10 of a percentage point behind all of these guys, at least in the 100 category, is Jared Goff, whose passer rating is 99.9. He has 11 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. How about that? Jared Goff's completion percentage, not as high as some of these other guys, but 61% is not terrible. He's actually ahead of Lawrence, tied with Lawrence, ahead of Hurts, 99.6, ahead of Tom Brady, 97.7, ahead of Aaron Rodgers, 95.6. So yes, while the organization continues to try to fix the defense, yes, the offense has been really good, and at times have had to play from behind, so maybe it's a little bit of stat pad for going on. Nice performance by the Rams last night. Wow. But Jared Goff has been super solid so far. Good week this week, and he could have a pass rating over 100. We're talking about a guy that many of you wanted to replace this offseason. I didn't like Jared Goff last year. I didn't think he played well. End of the year got better, but credit to Ben Johnson, the offensive staff. I mean, this past weekend, Jared Goff was throwing to Tom Kennedy, TJ Hawkinson, and Khalif Raymond at the end of that game. Everybody else was hurt. Cephas was already out of the game. The Lions were down to two receivers, basically, and Hawkinson and Brock Wright. Maurice Alexander, too, three receivers. And he's a 1/10 of a percentage point away from being a 100 passer rating quarterback. That's pretty darn good. And this week, it's going to be a tough test. Bill Belichick, the Patriots, they know how to limit you. So we'll see how Jared Goff does, but he has not been a problem at all. And he's up there with some pretty big names as far as quarterbacks go for this season. So shout out to him. Thanks to our friends at BetOnline and, of course, Athletic Greens as well for sponsoring and being a part of the Locked On Lions podcast. Again, tomorrow, Dave Burkett from the Free Press will join me. And on Thursday, we'll do the Locked On crossover, get more info on the Patriots. All of that coming up next in the next couple of days right here on Locked On Lions. Thanks, Turner, for the Rod Wood sign. We'll do it again tomorrow.